Right? Likutei Moharan, we're starting today Torah Chav Gimel. As the Moshe says, finishes the Ma'amorim of Safad Tzniusa, and he starts an opening to the Ma'amorim of Safad Be'atuna. Meromamu Elohim b'kaimaiso v'traiso, exalted is our God from the beginning to the end. V'tzvi v'yisraevan u'masar lanu raisa, that coveted and wanted us and gave us a Torah. That we were fortunate to finish the incredible Ma'amorim that explain the chapters of Safad Tzniusa. Now let us lift our hands before our God. That he should stand on our right, in other words, should assist us. To begin and to finish the supernal secrets and mysteries that are concealed in the passages in the Gemara of Savad Be'atuna, the sages of the town, of the city of Athens, that includes all the questions that the sages of Athens and the answers that they asked of Rabbi Shua ben Hanania, and that which Rabbi Shua ben Hanani answered to them. In the Gemara, in Masechet Bechorot, it is said that there was a king. I'm not exactly sure what the king was, what exactly what the story with the king was, but he required Rabbi Shua ben Hanania, his wisdom was so great, he was the one that used to send to Rome to deals with the Malchus, to negotiate, So one of the things that he had to do, he had to capture the 60 sages of the city of Athens. He had to capture them and bring to the king. Now, it was impossible to get to them because they were like in a closed compound that nobody could get in. There's a whole story of there were guards inside, there were guards outside, and he finally got in. And when he got in, Rabbi Shua ben Hanania said to them that he wanted to learn from their chokhmah, their wisdom. So they told him that they're going to ask him questions. So he said to them that if he would be able to answer those questions, they were asking like riddles, So he said if he would know how to answer those questions, they will agree to come to eat in his boat. And the boat had 60 rooms, and each one there were 60 chairs, and at the end each one sat in a room all its own, and he figured all his friends were supposed to come, and then he took them to it's a whole story of what went there. In terms of Rabbeinu, I apologize for coughing. I don't know if it's a cold or reflux, or one of the two, but anyhow, be that as it may. So one of the question was like this: Eimelan mile dechadive. Tell us a lie, the words of untruth. Amolo, he answered them, Havelan kedaisa v'yola. We had a mule, a female mule, and she gave birth. V'have talia lepiske. And around the neck of the newborn mule, there was a sign hanging. And what's written in it, the Masik Abba Mea Alfe Zuzi. That it was written at the collar of the I don't know if you call it colt. I mean, because the mule is sterile. So the baby mule was a note which was a will, a tzavah. And what was written in it said that the children of the mule, they need to pay back to whoever it is that loaned to their father 100,000 gold coins. Amule. So they said to him, how can a mule give birth? A mule is a sterile animal. These are words of untruth, these are words of lie. So they asked him another question. Malcha kisaya b'mei malchale. Salt, when it spoils, what do you salt it with? Because meat, to prevent it from decay, you salt it.
Yeah.
So say a decaying salt, what do you salt it with? So he told him, with a placenta of a mule. So they said, Mi'ika silusa lechadenaisa. Since when does a mule has a placenta? I mean, a mule is sterile, doesn't have no placenta. Milcha misaya. So he answered them, how can salt possibly spoil? And in the end of the Maimon, they will explain what is hidden in these words of the Gemara. Rabbeinu starts with the pasuk, Tzvisa tzedek edosecha ve'emuna me'oid. The edus and the mitzvah that Kodesh Baruch Hu has ordered are righteous and faithful, and completely faithful. That mimer includes the asog of this Torah as well. Sif Aleph. Ki yesh ponim l'kedusha. There is a spiritual bechina reality which is called ponim l'kedusha. The face, the front of holiness. Shehem anpin hoyin. This is glowing faces, glowing front. B'chinas chaim. They represent life. And the proof, kmo shekasov, be'o pnei melech chaim. Anybody HaKadosh Baruch Hu lights his face to him, it gets life. And what's alluded to in this pasuk, that anybody who is zeicher to this or upon him, this light of this supernal light of the face, he acquires that reality of life. And this bechina of panim, it's also bechina simcha. That's a metzias, it's a reality of simcha. כמו שכוסף, in Tehillim, תודיעני אור החיים, סבא סמוכos es panecha, right? Filled with gladness, with happiness, et panecha, with your face. That the simcha lo'osid lavoi, you'll be to those who are before you, are close to you. They will have simcha that it is endless. And what's allude in this pasuk is that the simcha is equated to panim. Panim, the kedusha, is life. Panim, the kedusha, is simcha. Okay? And it's also saying, Vatichi ruach Yaakov, and the spirit of Yaakov became alive again, returned to life. Zebchina Simcha, which means that finally he was happy because they told him that Yosef is alive. So you see that Simcha is Chai. So what we have established so far is that anybody who attains or upon him the light of the face of the Kedusha, he also attains life, right? And attains Simcha. It's very important. It is frequently the tendency for one to suspect, am I yoitze what I'm supposed to do? I'm not yoitze what I'm supposed to do. Do I really mean it? Don't I really mean it? When a Kadosh Baruch Hu, is holding back something from me. Even though I say that, and I believe that it's for my benefit, do I actually subconsciously upset with him and it's all this nonsense. I had a whole schmooze about this with the Shulchan Aruch yesterday. It's nonsense. Nonsense.
Well, machshavos?
Yeah, this kind of yes and no, am I not, am I this, am I that? He says, well, Rabbeinu says, be besimcha. So I said, I had this conversation with somebody who was doing this chishbon. So I said, instead of worrying about what you do wrong, work on being happy with the stuff that you do. That you manage to do, that you accomplish. I said, you should daven for it. So Mincha says, why are you making it difficult for him? Why are you asking him to daven for it? It's difficult. Just dance. Put it on a tape. Be besimcha. No philosophizing, no...
That gets a person down. The
Bevadai. Because it all goes that the Or upon him is life and it is simcha, it works backwards as well. You get simcha, you get life, you get Or upon him. If you make yourself besimcha, you get. If you fall from simcha, you fall from Chaim, and you fall from Or upon him. I mean, so that triangle comes to tell you that you can start any which way you want. One leads to the other.
What's the middle one? Or upon him, simcha and
Chaim.
yeah.
Chaim. But the thing is that which means put your mind aside. In other words, don't try to find what the answer to the conundrum is. The answer to this kasha. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I do feel this, but then I do this, then I don't know this, and I don't know this, and this. Like, what's his name? Mason used to say, I don't know, a car, they turn like this, and they turn like that, and it's like just be besimcha. Artificially listen to a funny tape, laugh, be besimcha. Pashut. Now, vis-a-vis that panim, that face the kedusha, there's another bechina of face. Yeshpon in the Sitra Achra, there is the face of the other side, of the side of defilement. Shehem anpin chashochim. It's exactly the opposite. Anpin, the face, the kedusha is anpin nehirin. This is glowing face. Over here you have anpin chashochim. You have darkened face. You have darkened face. Morash chayra, a black bile, depression. Which constitutes avodas elilim, idol worshiping. Kmo shekosov, lo yeh lecha elokim acherim al ponai. You should not have foreign gods on my face. You shouldn't substitute my face, for foreign gods. So from here you see that foreign gods, that idols, are an aspect of panim, but the panim of Tumah. The Rebbe says like this: Ve'elu bnei adam hanoiflim etavas mammon. Those people who fall into greed. ואינם מאמינים שהקדוש ברוך הוא יכול לפרנס את האדם בסיבה קלה, and they do not believe that the Kadosh Baruch Hu can sustain and feed a person with just an easy deed, something small. And they pursue their parnasa with tremendous toil, with tremendous hard work. They are the ones who eat bread in sorrow. HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished Adam Rishon after he ate from Etz Hadas. He told him, cursed is the land, because of you. B'itzavon tuchleno, with sadness with suffering you will eat. You will eat it. In other words, whatever that the lamb produces, this is all the days of your life. It says. In other words, that a man will have to work very, very hard, toiling the land before he can eat. And he will eat the fruit of the land after a long toil. anybody who is chasing his parnasa with unbelievable yegis and efforts and chochmas g'dolos is also his bechina. He's into this. He's eating his bread with sorrow and with great toil, hard labor. B'itzavon tochleno, in sadness, v'atzvus, and sadness, humor shcheru. That's a black Bible. That's depression. Elu bnei odom nikshorim be'ponim sitra achad. These are people who get tied up, get chained to the face of the side of defilement, which is Elokim Acherim, which is idol worshipping, which constitute Choshech, darkness. And we said this is darkened face. B'chinas Misa. This is the aspect of death. כמו שכוסף it is said במחשכים השיבני, כמסי oilam, it says in Eichel. He put me in darkness, he imprisoned me in darkness, like the deceased of this world that are put in the places of darkness. What's alluded in this? That darkness is equated to death. V'aleim ne'amar, and them it is said, Yecheskel admonished Am Yisrael. Kaspam b'chutzim yashlichu v'zavan l'nido yeh. Their silver v'zavan l'nido. The pshat the pasuk means that when the enemy will come, they won't be able to save themselves, to ransom themselves with silver or gold. They'll throw the silver out, and their gold will be like nido, which means banned, shunned, pushed away. But what's alluded in is that there is a b'chinas zav, there is an aspect of zav, of gold, of wealth, that is b'chinas nido. It's forbidden, it's shunned, it's haynu b'chinas avodas elilim. This is idol worshiping. כמו שאמרו Chazal, as Chazal said Masech Shabbos, minayin avodah zara. How do we know that avodah zara metama kenida? That if you touch avodah zara, it defiles whoever touches it, like touching a nida, a woman who is nida. Shene'emar tizrem kmo dovo. That the avodah zara is metama anybody who carries it, like the nido is metame anybody who carries it. The equation between the two tells you that avodah zara and nida are one and the same. Aval elu bnei odom shemasau matanu be'emuno. Those people who their business dealings are faithful, in total faith, and they believe that Kadosh Baruch Hu can give them parnasa with ease. And they came be'or aponim the kedusha. They adhere to the light of the ponim the kedusha. Ki en emuna belo emes. Emuna does not exist without truth. Kamuba v'zoya, the Zohar Kodesh says on the pasuk, Vaya tzedek ezol mosnov, and justice. Talk about Mashiach. Justice would be the belt of his hips, and the emuna ezol chalatzov, and the emuna will be the belt of his middle section. It says, Haynu tzedek, Haynu emunah. So you're talking here that justice and emunah are basically one and the same. They're both synonyms and euphemisms for the malchus. Masik there, the Zohar finishes there. Emunah iskarias kadischabar ba'emes. When is the spheres Amalchus called Emunah? When it is connected with the Emes. The Emes is Tidem Enems Yaakov, that's a Zer Anpin. When the Malchus is connected to Zer Anpin, then the Malchus is called Emunah. But when they are disconnected, when the Malchus is disconnected from the Emes, from the truth, it's called Tzedek, it's called justice. Justice is cold, it is final, it is finite. Just either this or that. That's justice. Emunah is a fertile ground. You can grow. They're both the same. They're both the same, except it's called emunah when justice is connected, when malchus is connected with emes. There's justice system anywhere in the world. But the justice system anywhere on earth, has practically nothing to do with emes. Lawyer is a conjugation on the noun of liar. That's what they do. In fact, the art of being a lawyer the art of lawyerizing is the ability to say a lie without saying anything which is untrue. The ability to establish a lie without saying anything which is untrue. That is the justice system.
The guy.
Yeah. Also here, when they have a goyish justice system, it's also the same thing. Justice without emes is barren. It's like a mule that is barren. Emunah is fertile, like a ground that can grow things. That's why they said that Emunah is Sedos Roim. That's the one of the Shisha Siddur Mishnah. So they said the Emunah is Sedos Roim. The Seder of that has to do with plants, trumas, maestras, all the different dinim that there are that have to do with plants. The Torah from beginning to end has to do with every single existence that there is, anything that exists. Domem, Tzomeach, Chai, Medaber. You have laws that have to do with plants. You have laws that have to do with animals. You have things that you're supposed to do. With the earth, like Shemitah and stuff like that. You have laws that have to do with with plants, and you have laws that have to do with animals, and obviously you have the laws that have to do with people. There are laws about everything. Why? Why are there so many laws? Because the entire creation is a Kodesh Baruch Hu. When you behave with any part of creation according to Torah, you are revealing the godliness at that reality. Masa matan be'emuna, those that believe HaKadosh Baruch Hu can be found with a small little thing, they are sticking with Uraponim the Kedusha. They stick with Uraponim of holiness. There's no emes, and he says, when is Malchus called Emuno? Kadischava be'emes. It also alludes to the fact that Am Yisrael, who as a whole represent the Midas Malchus, they reveal the Malchus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the kingship of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world, when they get to the truth and they get to Emunah. Nimtza she'ikar Emunah are the emes. The way to get to Emunah is by pursuing the truth. Ve'emes u'aponim. Emes is the light of the face, kayadua. It is said in Kabbalah's form. It says in Etz Chaim. It says like this. It is says that the seventh rectification of the 13, the Kleisa Tikuna Dikna, the 13 rectification of the beard, the Hashem Kel Rachum V'Chanun of Arich Ampim, which is the Keser. The seventh one is Emes. Hashem Kel Rachum V'Chanun Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emes. Hashem Kel Rachum V'Chanun Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emes. The seventh tikkun is Orapanim. That's what Etz Chaim says. It says the emes is the face of Hashem. Anybody that is zoicha, this is what Reb Nosson says. The truth is the face of Hashem, and anybody who merits to know the emes, the way it really is, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu has created everything, and He sustains everything, and He holds everything, and He vitalizes everything, and everything is according to His will, and He is mashgiach on everything with total hashgacha pratis. This true knowledge is the face of Hashem. When you know this truth, this constitutes that Hashem shines His face to you, like Gashmias, physical king, Basav Adam. As long as the king is in his chambers, you don't see him. It's a star upon him. When he reveals himself to his people, he says, Gilui upon him, right? Haras upon him. That which was hidden for them until now. The same way, Lahavdil HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you can't see him with your physical eyes. Or even with the eyes of your mind, you cannot see him. But each one according to the gefiel, to the field that his heart imagines. This is how you can see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps a person to see him, what happens to a person is that in a person's mind, there's an illumination of the absolute truthfulness of the essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Suddenly, it just, boing, a light bulb goes on. You can't even explain it in words. And this is called that Orapanim has lighted on you. But the only way to get the Or HaPanim is through Emunah. Because the actual Or HaPanim, which is the truth, in other words, to actually know the omnipresence of the Likutei Moharan, you can't get, because the light is too great. It's unfair, you can't grasp it in the mind. If Kadosh Baruch Hu would be revealed with all his truth, this Galia, it says the entire world would stop existing. Even the light of the sun, which is only a shtashel, it's a trickle down, physical trickling down from the principle of the light of Kadosh Baruch Hu. A person you cannot look at the sun. Look at the sun and get blinded. Much more so, the light of Hashem is Baruch. Now, Kadosh Baruch Hu, with His great mercy, wants the world to exist. So He concealed the light of the truth. He holds it back. The Or HaPanim. This is Achen Ato Kel Mistat. That's what we said in Rosh Hashanah. Indeed, you are a hiding God. And it's Dafka, therefore, through those filters, through those step-down mechanisms of the constriction and the hiding of Kodesh Baruch Hu, that we can actually know of Hashem's truth. Without losing either our individuality or our free choice. Because the Kodesh Baruch Hu has constricted the truth with such unbelievable wisdom, in constriction after constriction, in unbelievable ways, until the midah of Emunah was created. Emunah, the unbelievable wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu has shined in a person the midah of Emunah, the Emunah Akdoshah, that it is within the soul of a person an imprint of the undeniability of the truth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That enables a person to come and believe in Hashem. that a person wouldn't be able to believe in Hashem. Even though you don't see the truth. You don't see the truth, but you believe. Emunah is the tool, the intellectual tool that enables a person to have a grasp at that which he cannot understand, that which he cannot define, that which is that his mind cannot possibly encompass. You can grasp infinity. You can believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Your mind cannot grasp Him. You cannot understand, but you can believe in Him. The Midas Emunah enables you to kivyochel contain HaKadosh Baruch Hu by believing in Him. This was done when HaKadosh Baruch Hu has constricted the light of the Emes in such a way that in your own neshama there's an imprint of the undeniable truth of the godliness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that imprint is the tool with which you can believe in Hashem if you seek the truth. If a person doesn't seek the truth, the same tool gets him to believe that the thing that really matters is who wins the World Series or the Super Bowl, or the Champions League or whatever it will be. Ad Kan for today.
I have to go.